Well, hey there. Good to see you again. This is your second free video of the 3, and I hope you enjoyed yesterday's. Today, we speak a little bit more towards the couples. But again, as I mentioned, even if you're single, I hope you take the chance to listen to this, because one day you'll be in a relationship and there will be this commitment that you need to make in order for that relationship to really flourish and deepen over time. So today's topic is, what is the most important commitment a couple can make to one another if they want to experience authentic and growing intimacy over time? Like, what is the commitment of a conscious couple? And again, when I say conscious, all I'm referring to is basically the idea of being aware, being awake, being aware of oneself, knowing oneself, tuning into the energy that you're bringing, the perspective that you have. So it's all about just self-awareness. Okay? So what is the commitment of a conscious couple? And I would say, in a word, it's the commitment to openness or transparency. You could say truthfulness. But truthfulness doesn't really capture as much as the word openness does. So let me talk about this idea of openness, because it's the foundation of a relationship that's going to have intimacy, right? So I don't do this too often, but there's actually a verse in the Bible that talks about intimacy. And it's from the book of Genesis. Remember, from Sunday school, Adam and Eve and stuff like that. They're in the garden before all the snake business happens and all the problems. It says that they were in the garden together and they were both naked and unashamed. Now, I guess you could look at that and say that meant physically, but the Bible's a spiritual text, so it always has a spiritual meaning. And what I mean by that is they were naked. They were exposed. There was nothing hidden. There was nothing concealed. That nothing was covered. And so they were both open with one another. They were both exposed. They were both vulnerable. And they weren't ashamed, meaning, this is me. This is who I am. There's no shame here. It's just me. It's what I'm thinking, what I'm feeling, what I'm wanting, whatever it might be. So this commitment is really about the commitment to be a revealer rather than a concealer. I mean, that's pretty much what this one's about. It's the commitment to saying, I'm going to reveal an intimacy rather than conceal. I'm going to reveal my thoughts, my feelings, my wants, my decisions, my choices, actions. I'm committing in this relationship to you that I am not going to keep anything secret. I'm not going to hold anything back. I'm not going to withhold anything, but I'm just going to be an open book. I'm going to be wide open. Okay? Because here's the principle. If you want to relate, you reveal. If you want to control, you conceal. Do you understand that? We reveal in order to relate. And I'm not saying that if you reveal something, it doesn't get a little dicey. It might. You might have to own up to something, admit you're thinking something, feeling something, or wanting something, or have done something that the other person might not like, or might not understand, or might have a problem with. Okay. But you reveal in order to relate, meaning when you reveal, you're moving toward the person. You're moving into their life by bringing what's happening in yours to them. But when you conceal, you're basically wanting to control the relationship. I don't want you to know this or that about me or what I did or what I said, because I don't want to experience what I think the results could be. That you might be angry with me, you might pull away from me, you might even walk out on me. Okay? So whenever we conceal, we're actually trying to control the other person and the relationship and the outcome. And that is very common in relationships, and that's why very few people have those relationships that are naked and unashamed. Very few people have really authentic intimacies. Okay? So this commitment to be open is basically You know how you got that voice in the head, that's kind of always running? It's about letting the person know what's going on in there. I talk to clients all the time, and we're sharing, and they're like, man, this is what's happening in my relationship, and they're doing this, and they're doing that, and they're doing that, and I'm feeling this, and I'm really frustrated there, and so my question is, so how much of that have you actually told them? And very frequently, they look at me like I'm from Mars. They're like, I haven't said any of that. That's why I'm here. I'm afraid to say that. What would happen if I said that? I'm like, do you want intimacy? Do you want to move toward your partner and create something wonderful? Yeah. Then you need to say just exactly what you said to me to them. It's a commitment to being open and to deal with whatever happens from that. Because think about it this way, when you conceal, you're not only controlling, but you're in a sense, you're having to hide who you really are. You're having to live some kind of a lie, some kind of a falsehood, you're putting some sort of image, right? I'll reveal this and this and this, but I won't say that and that and that because I'm trying to kind of control the way you feel about me and I'm trying to put out a certain image. I mean, that sucks. I mean, nobody wants to live that way. If they do love you, they're just loving the part that you're showing. They don't love you. In other words, you're in that place where you're ashamed of who you are. So they're loving the part you're showing. They're not loving real you. So this commitment to openness is to say that I am not going to withhold. Because when I withhold, I withdraw. Now, I know this raises a lot of questions for you. A lot of yeah buts. Like, well, yeah, but what about this? And what about that? Because I think something is going to happen here, or they're going to say that. They're going to get defensive. They're going to get angry. They're going to not understand. They may dismiss me. It may create distance. It may create divorce. So I understand all that. And that's why I've created all these e-courses at CoachingWithRoy.com, is to take these principles and help you learn them so deeply so that you know how to deal with them, how to actually do it, how to respond to those various possible situations. Okay? So what I'm going to suggest to you, the e-course to go the next step with here, is the e-course called 4 Secrets to Crazy, Sexy, Lasting Love. How a couple can create ongoing, lasting connection and passion. So that e-course is going to talk all about communication, all about emotional things, all about agreements, all about different kinds of responsibility in a relationship. So if I've touched a nerve, if you're in a relationship that's not that open, or if you know that you're holding something back or you're withholding, even the smallest things, if you feel like, yes, we're not moving toward each other, your next step is to take that e-course. And so that's really why I've created all these e-courses, is for you to go the next step in your journey. And so let me just take a minute here to tell you that you can buy one e-course, and there's always an introductory offer of 50% off your first one. But you can actually get what's called an all-access membership, where you have access to any e-course on the entire site. And there are going to be 3 tracks, a singles track of e-courses, a couples track of e-courses, and a whole track of e-courses on basic personal development. So there will be eventually more than a dozen, probably more than 15 of these things. And for an all-access membership, you get anything that's available now or that will ever be put on the site, as well as huge discounts in one-on-one coaching and the live events that will be offered in the future here. So, I mean, the best value is the all-access membership. You just get everything and you get discounts on everything. But if you're not sure of that, then you can just take the one e-course for 50% off, and there's a 100% money-back guarantee. So if you get an e-course at 50% off, the 4 Secrets e-course or the Attracting Lasting Love e-course, and you don't like it, if it does not change your life, if it does not really speak to you in a powerful way, then you can get your money back completely. So there's absolutely no risk. All right? So I encourage you to go to the site, preview the e-courses, pick one, jump in, change your life, let me know how it goes. And until we talk tomorrow, take care.